The Premier League is heading into one of its toughest stretches of the season, with games coming thick and fast. Matchweek 14 has only just wrapped up, and the clubs are already gearing up for Matchweek 15. All eyes this time are on Manchester United's trip to Molineux, where they'll face bottom-of-the-table Wolverhampton Wanderers. On paper, this should be a comfortable assignment for Ruben Amorim's side. But given United's wildly inconsistent form in recent weeks, especially in those late kickoff fixtures, things could get complicated very quickly. This United team is a puzzle. One moment they're pulling off a dramatic comeback at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. The next, they're dropping points at Old Trafford in a frustrating draw with West Ham. So the question is, against a Wolves side wounded and desperate at the foot of the table, will United show the authority of a big club? Or slip back into their Robin Hood routine, gifting points away and leaving fans shaking their heads yet again? For United supporters, those late kickoffs have become something of a nightmare. After that limp defeat to Everton in Matchweek 12, they followed it up with another bitter disappointment, a draw against West Ham that felt like a punch to the gut. That West Ham match summed up everything that's been wrong with United lately. The visitors had just one clear chance, Sungu to Magasa's strike, and they made it count. United, meanwhile, couldn't sustain the intensity they needed, especially with several key players clearly running on fumes. And that's the real headache for Ruben Amorim. He has to find a way to fix the team's physical issues and keep them locked in for the full 90 minutes. Or United can forget about pushing for a European spot this season. Their next opponents, Wolverhampton, are living through a nightmare of a 2025-26 season. 14 games in, they haven't won a single match and have only 2 points to their name. Bottom of the table isn't just fair, it's generous. The arrival of new head coach Rob Edwards, brought in from Middlesbrough, hasn't sparked the turnaround Wolves were hoping for. There was a brief moment of promise when they battled their way to back-to-back draws against tough sides like Tottenham and Brighton. But that flicker of optimism was crushed by a brutal run of 8 straight defeats in all competitions, dragging them closer and closer to what feels like an inevitable drop to the Championship. Yes, Wolves did the double over Manchester United last season, an impressive feat by any measure. But right now, the odds of them taking points at Molineux this time are slim at best. Still, when a team is cornered, sometimes all they have left is pure fight and the energy of their home crowd. And that may be the only wild card Rob Edwards can rely on. United, meanwhile, have problems of their own. Matthijs de Ligt is sidelined with an injury and needs at least a week to recover, leaving a significant gap at the back. His absence has been felt immediately, especially in aerial battles, and the goal they conceded against West Ham was the perfect example of that vulnerability. Mason Mount's situation is less serious, and he was able to come off the bench in the second half against West Ham. For the trip to Molineux, United's starting 18 likely won't change much, but the bigger concern remains the physical condition of their key players. With a shallow bench featuring names like Manuel Ugarte and Patrick Dorgu, who still haven't fully convinced, United are once again leaning heavily on core figures like Bruno Fernandes and Brian Mbeumo to carry the load. If they want to stay in the race for the top 4, they need to control the tempo, manage their energy, and cut out the sloppy goals, the kind that cost them dearly against West Ham. For Wolverhampton, the biggest blow is the suspension of key midfielder João Gomes, who's out after picking up his 5th yellow card. On top of that, they'll also be without Ladislav Krejci, Daniel Bentley, Rodrigo Gomez, and Enzo Gonzalez due to injuries. It's a heavy list of absentees, leaving Rob Edwards with limited options as he tries to piece together a lineup capable of causing an upset, especially against the former club of Matheus Cunha. Historically, Manchester United have held the upper hand in this matchup. Out of 115 meetings, United have won 56 times compared to Wolves' 39, with 20 draws between them. And in the Premier League era alone, the Red Devils also dominate. 13 wins, 3 draws, and 6 losses across 22 games. But last season, 2024-25, was a painful exception for United. Wolves won both fixtures. At Molineux, Goals from Matheus Cunha and Hwang Hee-chan sealed a 2-0 victory. At Old Trafford, Pablo Sarabia's stunning free kick earned a 1-0 win in a match where United had one eye on the Europa League. That game also laid the groundwork for United eventually signing Matheus Cunha, following a key conversation between the striker and manager Ruben Amorim. After the recent draw with West Ham, Amorim didn't hide his frustration, pointing directly to issues with consistency and control. "We should have closed the game when we scored the first one. The game was in control. Any set pieces can be a problem. We couldn't maintain the ball after the goal. It is not an excuse. Players change, but we know what to do. We need to close the game. We need to win the next one." On the Wolves side, Rob Edwards was equally blunt after their defeat to Nottingham Forest, calling for attitude and urgency from his players. "We lost the game in the first half. No intensity. Didn't take risks. Played too safe. It was almost like we were waiting to get beat, and that hurts. We have to find a way to bring out the best in ourselves. The crowd will be with us if we show intent. They want to get behind the team, but you have to run, fight, and look like you want to win." For the predicted lineups, Manchester United are expected to stick with their 3-4-2-1 setup, with a few tweaks to match their current squad situation. Sana Lamens should start in goal, protected by a back three of Luke Shaw, Lenny Yoro, and Noussair Mazraoui. The wingbacks will likely be Amad Diallo on the right and Diogo Dalot on the left. Casemiro and captain Bruno Fernandes anchor the midfield, while Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha operate just behind the lone striker, Joshua Zirkzee. As for Wolves, they'll stick to their familiar 3-4-3. Sam Johnstone starts in goal, with Emmanuel Agbadou, Toti Gomez, and Yerson Mosquera forming the defensive trio. Jackson Chachua and David Müller-Wolf will take up the wingback roles. In midfield, Andre Partners, Marshall Munetsi, and up front, the attacking trio will feature John Arias on the right, Hwang Hee-chan on the left, and Jørgen Strand Larsen leading the line. With both teams involved in high-scoring games lately, averaging more than 2 goals per match, and Wolves' defense looking shaky, this feels like a big opportunity for Manchester United's attack to make a statement. Yes, United have a habit of making life difficult for themselves against weaker opponents, but the gap in squad quality and their push for a top 4 finish should give them the edge. The key for United is simple: stay focused, take control early, and avoid the kind of slip-ups that have haunted them recently. With their firepower, I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Manchester United. What about you? Drop your score predictions in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.